Hey guys, what's up? Underground Geek here. So here's the deal. I just read this book. I want to talk about it, so we're going to talk about it. I got the regular cover. I didn't get the variant cover. I just kind of like this cover better. I don't know why, but I do. This is issue 2 of 12, and it was $4.99. But I'm pretty sure I got it for like $3 because my LCS just doesn't care, and everything's cheaper. I got like 6 or 7 comics for like $12. So anyway, let's see if I can get into this hardcover. It's so cold in this office that I can barely move my fingers. But here I am. I'm trying to do this review here. Dang, this is hard. All right, I'm not going to review it now because I can't open it. But here we go. I'm in. We're in, guys. We're in. Whew, it's hard. So basically, we're getting the backstory of I think her name's Marionette, and then the mime. And they're talking, about how people got their, what went on and how people got their costumes. Apparently, there was this third party that you could go to, and they would sell you a costume and sell you your name. And then villains, regular guys, could become super villains to make a name for themselves. And she said a lot of times they would just, the first time they got their butt handed to them, they would just throw their costume away in the trash and run, But a couple of them would stick around. So basically we have all this right here. We have all this talking going on. At the same time, they're showing a heist that she committed. So basically she's Harley Quinn. I hate to say this, but basically she is Harley Quinn. Now here's the thing that got on my nerves on the first page. And people are going to say, oh, why would that be a problem? But let me show you something. Look right there. Hey, look, it's a lady in hijab. Oh, that's nice. Here's my thing. I don't have a problem with it, but when you put it on the first page of like every comic of these progressive weirdos that do these comics, they feel the need to put one of 3 things: North Korea, Russia, or a person in a hijab on every one of these political comics. And it really irritates me because it's like no escapism. It's everywhere. There are not that many people in hijabs, okay? The way that they put these in comics, you would think there was one on every street corner, okay? And I realize that this is like a euphemism, a lot of time, a statement. But here's my thing. Where I live, I have never seen a person in hijab. I had to go out of the state and go venture another place to see a person in hijab. There's not that many of them. Now, in foreign countries, yes, there is. But this is supposed to be America. And it's supposed to be America in like the 1960s or 70s. Here's the thing. Well, maybe it's the 80s, because I think it was, anyway. So anyway, we cut to this, and Mime and Marionette are getting their costume. They're getting it on. They're not getting it on, but they're putting all their stuff together. And you have Rorschach, the fake Rorschach, and as Mandy is talking here. And then we get to see the Mime finally in his costume and what he looks like. There's your introduction. And look, she's Harley Quinn. She's supposed to be Marionette, but she's Harley Quinn. And so then we get the actual heist of what happened. You get him holding his imaginary gun, and I really want to see him use this. I want to see if this imaginary gun crap is real, okay? Give it to me. I want to see it. So then basically they find out that this guy is the only way that can open up the safe that they're trying to rob, so they go to get him, and then she accidentally cuts his finger off because she's a psychopath. But then, oh no, things are not going well for them because the side arm is tripped, and guess who shows up? Mr. Manhattan. Whoa. And good thing, though, he's got underwear on. So he pretty much says, hey, I'm going to kill you, you're dead. But then she steps in a way and says, if you're going to kill him, you're going to kill me. And then we get a pause from Mr. Manhattan, and he looks at her. And she says, what are you staring at? And then he looks at her belly. And that's when we get the first indication that he saw her and saw that she was pregnant and spared her. So he still had a little bit of humanity then. They get arrested, they go to jail. And this is where we get the point that Ozymandias is saying, look, I'm going to try to use you because you're part of his past to bring Dr. Manhattan back. I made him leave, but now I need him. So then they get in the, I guess you call it the owl plane, and they all load up to get ready to leave. So it's pretty much almost D-Day at this point. The rockets have launched, the nukes have launched, and everybody's about to die. And there's nothing really that he can do about it. But in order to prevent it, he has put a shield in the airplane. It's a quantum drive or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, it's going to shield him. But he's like, whoa, wait a second, it's not working. Something's happening. And then, bam, everybody gets hit with a nuclear bomb. They pretty much die. And then I'm going to skip a page. And then we get to Gotham. And Bruce Wayne is getting a psych test. I wonder how that's going to go. And he pretty much fluffs it, tries to act like nothing's wrong. And then we get the reasoning behind he's having this psych test. It's mandatory now because he failed one a while back because he was honest. So now he's been fluffing it ever since. And then we get almost a mirror image of what's happening in the Doomsday Clock world, because they're almost the same thing going on here, except they all hate Batman. And I haven't seen, this is not very uncommon, but it's just kind of strange that it popped up all of a sudden. But it goes with the story, so it makes sense. And so at this point, they're talking about LexCorp is being investigated for espionage. But at the same time, if he ends up walking, he could end up buying Wayne Corp. And then if he buys Wayne Corp, then he'll find out all Batman's secrets. So they can't let this happen. They can't. There's a bat signal in the sky. And then we get this really cool image here. We get the bat signal, and then there's the eyes, and out pops the owl machine. It's just like bam, 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 crashes. They all try to see if everybody's okay. And then he immediately, the fake Rorschach, handcuffs the two crooks because they don't trust them. So now they're leaving to go after, to find out about this world and get help. And Ozymandias brought his little cat. And they're like, why did you bring the little cat? He says, well, it's our compass. I didn't really understand that. They didn't explain that, but I guess the cat has something. Maybe the cat can find where they need to go. I don't know. I don't know his powers. All I know is he was like a genetically altered animal, because they do that kind of thing. But they find a library, and they get up to par on what's going on. And pretty much they find out that the two smartest people in America right now are Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor. So they split up, and they're going to go to each one of them, explain the situation, and see if they'll help them. And he gives Rorschach the chance to go talk to Bruce Wayne and gives him explicit instructions not to interact with anything else. Of course, he doesn't follow directions. He snoops around. And this guy is very clever. I don't know who he is at this point. I think they called him Reggie. So we get the first inclination of who he may be. But he's very smart because, watch. He watches the smoke, it sucks it into behind the clock, and he finds Bruce Wayne's Batcave in no time. So at that point, then we also get the introduction of Ozymandias and Lex Luthor. They're pretty much two halves of a coin, so I can assume that they'll probably end up hating each other in the end. So then, as that's going on, we have more dialogue. And this is the first situation where we have this fake Rorschach sees Batman's world, and he says only a monster would keep trophies like this, tokens and prizes from victims. It's how Kovacs caught so many animals. He's talking about the real Rorschach there. He says they couldn't let go of the past. They left a trail, and he ended up finding them. So then we cut to Ozymandias, and somebody has shot at Ozymandias, and he almost hit the cat. Terrible person. So he ends up actually hitting and almost clips Lex, and then we get the dialogue here. He says, last time you came at me, I was confused, drunk. And I was like, oh, I know who it is. And he's like, impossible. I got that Bane reference right there where he was like, impossible. And so then, who is it? Oh, man, it's the comedian. So then, that's pretty much where it ends. I'm not going to show you the rest of the page because spoilers. And so that's where it ends. Now, I have to say, I was not impressed with the first issue. It was bland. It was unimpressive. There was too much dialogue. There was a lot of heavy-ended politics shoved in there, and people's like, oh, Doomsday is politics. Doomsday is a different set of politics. Doomsday had to deal with the Cold War, the Russians, things like that. Stuff that was far enough away to where you understood what was going on in that timeline. Now, in my opinion, they should have never made this, because Watchmen is perfect like it is. Don't mess with it, leave it alone. But this is okay. There are some heavy-handed politics in the first one. This one, not really. It's just some slight stuff shoved in there. More story. You can tell that they're trying to move the story along. So this one right here was a lot better, but we got to get this moving. Now, it's 12 issues, so they got a little time to do things, but we need some more stuff going on, because so far, within 2 issues, the only thing that happened is they went to our Earth, or went to Batman's Earth, where Mr. Manhattan is. And I won't tell you the rest of the story, but they pretty much figured out that Mr. Manhattan is in their universe with Batman and all them in that universe, and he may be hiding as one of the superheroes there. But I won't go into any other details about it. But my thing is, it's a good story, but like I said, all that's happened is now that they broke some crooks out, they went to the alternate universe, and they've met Batman and Lex Luthor. That's all that's happened. So in my mind, I'm like, move this along, because I want some action. Now this is a slow burn. They're going for the trade. They're going for 12 issues. So I understand what they're doing, but I just have I have a higher standard when it comes to this kind of stuff. It's a really good, intriguing story, though. I'll give them that. I'm not talking down about these guys, but I really feel like that they shouldn't have messed with Watchmen. I am still interested to see where it goes, but there's always going to be in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's like you're making a sequel out of a good thing. It's like when you make a sequel of something that came out a long time ago, and you make a sequel of it, or you revamp it, it's like, just leave it alone. Like, I still haven't seen the new Blade Runner. Everybody says it's really good, but I'm just like, Blade Runner was good. Just leave it alone. You know what I mean? Just find something original. This is not that original. It's a good story, though. I still do recommend it, but it just don't get me going. Now, the art's very good. I'll give them that. It's very much like the original. I really like the symbolism here with that, and it has a lot of movement. It's good with the movement. It kept me going. But anyway, that's all I got to say. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope you liked this video. If you didn't agree with me, that's understandable, because everybody has their own opinions. But all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Hope to have some more videos. I'm going to do the Ben Reilly video that I said I would do very soon. But I just want to let you guys see this, so I'll talk to you later. All right, Underground Geek out.